And we're back here at FanFest. As Mark is getting blinded by the sun and the lights.
I thought that the break was going to be longer, so I thought I had.
No, we take quick breaks here. Quick reminder for everybody: this is the commissioner of the LCS. So if anybody would like to boo, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. But also, if you have a question or a take for Mark Zimmerman, we got 30 minutes. Come grill him. Jordan's over there with the cards. You're going to write down your take and your name. She'll bring it up. Please come ask him just the toughest, most annoying, most frustrating questions. He deserves it.
I can't wait to turn to a slug and just dodge all the questions.
Yes, exactly. But come up on the show and ask him a question. But Mark, we didn't even get a chance to talk too much yesterday. What was yesterday like for you?
Yesterday was pretty chill. Just sat in the lounge area, watched the games. It's a little weirder because I've done every other show as talent, so I know I'm supposed to be in the green room. I'm supposed to be on stage, and I don't really have anywhere I was supposed to be yesterday.
Yeah, it's as the commissioner of the league, you have no responsibilities.
None. It's really weird.
It's interesting.
The higher up you go, the less you do.
Yeah, is that most days for you, or is that just?
Yeah, I just kind of show up whenever they need to roll someone out to be a talking figurehead.
Yeah, okay,
That's the idea.
There were some other personalities that were saying this about you.
Yeah, no, they're dead on.
Yeah, okay, cool. No, but what has it been like? Because this is obviously you've been to many road shows before, but you had to work with your team of people to make this thing happen over the course of the year. This is also the big moment at the end of the season for you. So what has this been like?
It's been pretty stressful. Definitely more stressful than as talent, where you're just like, what are we going to talk about? This is fun. This is sick. Now it's like you're trying to coordinate marketing and events and planning and all this stuff. And obviously there's tons of people who are the teams leading that kind of up. But as product, you're throwing your thoughts in there, what's important, what's going to resonate. And so it's funny because back when we used to do this show, I pretty much only did Hotline League, and then I would leave FanFest, and I've never walked around very much. So I have actually a very low reference point for what other FanFests were like, because I am a recluse.
Do you have any highlights from walking around? Any booths you liked? Anything you like to see?
Yeah, I liked a couple of the ones that we were throwing on in the lower level. If people haven't checked them out, not that there's that much time left, but there's the 2XKO booths to play at. It was really fun working with that team to get that set up. We have the evolution of the LCS kind of history walkthrough thing. And then the day jobs. All three of those I played a decent hand in, at least helping coordinate on, and I think they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, the history of the LCS was really fun to walk through. So if you guys have a chance, definitely go check it out.
Have you had a coconut yet from FlyQuest?
No, I haven't actually done any of the booths. I've just looked at the lines and judged what fans seem to be resonating with.
So you're really committed to do as little as possible today.
Yeah, I almost just bailed on the show. It was hard to get me up here.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it looks like we have a couple more takes that are getting written down. We'll have those in a second. But yeah, Cubby, I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to throw Mark's way.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on the year, for you, what is one of the biggest wins that you feel like you've had, and then what's something that you feel like is a goal for next year, now that you're kind of wrapping up year one?
Yeah, I think in terms of wins, we had a lot at the beginning of the year that we came in with a really aggressive number of changes with live patch and changing how we do pick ban for transition times and all these sorts of things, and then best of 3. And so I think we managed to do almost everything that we wanted to do. So I think that's a win. It felt good to actually get in there and make the changes that I was saying this is what I would do. So that was cool. I think some of the game team collaborations have been a lot of fun, like Trucker Orn and the Day Jobs reveal and those sorts of things were really cool. The teams have been great. I had nothing to do with Team Liquid being going the distance with or playing some good series against T1 and FlyQuest stepping up now. So I think it's been a pretty baller year all around.
Yeah. What is this shirt that you're wearing?
This is the event tee.
Okay. And is it signed by you?
Oh, no. So I got a special version where there was someone doing embroidering at some other.
Okay. But that is your signature.
No, it's an embroidery.
Okay. What does it say?
It's my name, but it's not my.
Okay.
I didn't sign it and then the embroidery.
Okay. Can fans get access to this?
No.
Okay. This is just
maybe special... actually. I don't know. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done any booths. Maybe there's one around.
Do you know much about what's happening at this event?
What is this? Is this LCK finals?
Yeah. Interesting. All right. I think we have some takes that we're going to bring up on the table here.
Yeah.
We'll be able to get those in.
Is Cedric in the audience?
Cedric. Right. Cedric's coming around. Got a couple more takes coming up here. Cedric will be joining us. Here he is. Another Deadpool. Dude, have you seen all the Team Liquid jerseys? There's so many Team Liquid jerseys.
I forgot that they had that collaboration, so I saw a bunch of Deadpools, and I was like, I guess it was a popular movie.
Yes.
It's like I didn't realize it resonated so much with League fans. Makes a lot more sense now.
If they're, I kind of want to know if they're all here. Maybe we could get in a line.
Oh,
the
yeah.
numbers and have like the 1 to 300.
Oh,
That would be sick.
yeah.
Or are they limited? There's like a number on them. That's cool. That's awesome. Well, we're
184.
definitely going to be able
So
to
I'm
shout it out.
mine's 184 to 300. But
Awesome. Well, Cedric, where are you joining us from?
currently live in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Another Houston person. What do you want to talk about on the show?
All right, so I know this has been a touchy subject for the Americas community already, the whole merger, all that going on. This year we saw that there was only one live finals. Well, that we're at right now. Obviously, people want more, but who knows what Riot's thinking. But with the merger for summer, the Riot said that it would be Brazil versus North America for towards the end of the playoffs, which I assume would be the final. Does that mean that there will only be one live event in either North America or Brazil, so that like there's a chance that there might not even be one in North America next year?
So you guys turned me into a slug on the first one.
Yeah.
I appreciate instead of talking about the finals, 2024. The
He's
first
talking
question
about
is
the finals.
yeah.
He's talking about the summer finals.
2025
2025.
plans. We're not talking too much about them right now because we don't want to distract from the finals as well as the worlds coming up. We'll start teasing stuff now that the season is ending. We'll probably tease a little bit between now and worlds to give fans something to look forward to. But then we'll have closer to the end of worlds like a lot more to say, and that's when we'll do the full reveal, the full plans, and all these sorts of questions that you have. So unfortunately, that's a punt.
Classic. No, but I mean, I guess I would kind of follow up with, what does an event like this mean for your ability to do them again in the future? Like, is this a situation where there's a lot of pressure for an event like this to get a lot of attention and a lot of people to come out and that type of stuff to be able to do it? Because I think there was what was it? There was a message that I saw somewhere where it was like, hey, we want to keep doing these again in the future, and so we'd love to see everybody really engage with it. So I guess generally speaking, is there much pressure on this event?
I don't think there's an exceptional amount of pressure to be like, if this one doesn't do well, no road shows ever. Like that's definitely not the tone at all. So don't worry about that. I think there's always a pressure to do well and put on a good show and have lots of people show up and the fans have a good experience. And because the point of these is to give fans who have been watching online for a long period of time a chance to meet up with friends, get deeper invested, bring their friends along who might not watch an online match and randomly, but they'll come to an event and be like, oh, this is actually sick. So I think this is a big opportunity for Riot to both get fans deeper invested as well as new fans brought in at a really accessible point. So there's huge value in these, and I think that that's why they're definitely going to continue.
Yeah. Are you concerned at all about Raz today being a problem for you? Do you think that there's a chance that he could be an issue on stage? He's not even listening.
No, but I mean that's true. Every day that we have Raz on stage is an issue. So
Yeah.
There's nothing special about finals.
He's walking by. I don't think we're going to be able to get a shot of him because he's moving so quick.
He
Wow,
said you stink.
No, I think he said something else. He said I was really nice. Oh, wow, he's so supportive of the show. That's really nice. Yeah.
If we need another 30 minutes, we know who to call.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know if there's any kind of follow up on that. Obviously, I know we can't get him to talk about it, but we tried.
Yeah, I would just I guess my thing would just be like, I really enjoy these events. My first event was the finals in Houston. The Danny Pentakill, like that was, like I've been to other like traditional sporting events, and that like quarter filled NFL stadium was the most hype event I've ever been to. Then I was lucky enough to be able to go to semifinals in Atlanta. I went to Raleigh, like these, and been able to bring friends that don't watch LCS or maybe just play League, and like started roping them in, all that type of thing. And it's been really good been a good way to be able to get people to feel the like energy behind the whole thing that sometimes you don't feel through the monitor or the TV screen. But so I just hope that we have that access to that next year. But I understand that Mark can't speak to things in the future like that.
But what you're talking about is exactly what I was talking about. Like that moment is what these are all for. And if you haven't checked out the history booth yet, or the evolution of the LCS, check it out, because that moment is definitely memorialized.
Yeah, it's really cool in there.
Emphasis on memorialized. Is the LCS? Is it the LCS Memorial? I think is what you're suggesting. Okay. Anyway, anything that you want to shout out?
Shout out my wife who's in the audience. My friend Henry's in the audience. My friend is online who are watching. Trenton and Vic and just anybody else. Shout out to Kia, to NZXT, to Prize Picks, and just shout out to the guys sitting here and for this awesome event we have going on. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
on, man.
Yeah, thank
Enjoy the games. All
All
right.
right. So we have a Will in the audience.
Will, come on up. Thanks everybody again for coming out. Really excited to have you all here.
More TL gear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It's all Team Liquid gear all the way down.
Oh yeah.
Will, where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I'm sorry about the heat.
What is
Well,
your
actually, this is kind of not that bad. Our heats are all extremely just humid. I can deal with this. If it's 90 but it's humid back there, I can't stand it at all.
what is this hat?
You can make hats over at the MasterCard booth over there, and you can get. I guess yesterday they said they don't do it today, but you could get your tag on it, so it should say Dawn. That's my name in League.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
very cool. Okay, so there's even more stuff going on. Mark, I'm teaching you about FanFest while you're on the show. All right.
I didn't know about that one.
What do you
So my question was to you, Mark. Again, you talked about a little bit already of all the things that you were excited about that actually went through this year. The thing I'm curious about is, was there anything that you wanted to change or some idea that maybe even you had that didn't get through yet, or maybe just was not approved or shot down as an idea that people didn't want to try?
We finally got subs on the channel.
Yeah, I got there at the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of the ones that I had at the start of the year that took a little bit longer to get there, but we got there. I don't know if there's anything that I have to check my deck at the start of the year to see if I got through everything.
Yeah.
I think mostly yes. I think we've talked a lot about the breaks probably being one of the things that was not on my deck that I would put in next year's to be like, let's not have to deal with these anymore. And it's pretty high priority for us to minimize those even more. They were a necessary evil this year for a number of reasons that we've talked about. But I think that would be one of the things for next year to make sure that we hone in on. And I think there were a lot of things that I've learned that I will do better next year on a personal level. And the LCS can do a better job on, but I don't think there was anything that I had coming in that we didn't really get to.
What if you had to name one thing that you are proud of or happy with this year that you guys were able to accomplish? What would that be?
I mean, kind of similar to what Cubby asked. I don't know. I think the live patch one was pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason why I bring it back up again is because I do think it is cool to hear that you were like, I feel like I accomplished everything I wanted to this year, or at least in terms of your goals, because I think coming in at a time that the time that you did, you have had a lot of like headwinds with all sorts of news coming out from Riot that are affecting the company across the board, big issues that are happening in esports across the board and all that stuff. And so just hearing that you were able to accomplish a lot of what you wanted to do, I think is really awesome, and I think deserves a bit of a round of applause for Mark. As much grief as I give him for accomplishing so much in his first year.
Yeah.
Wow. Applause to or booze to applause.
I know, but
Wow.
legitimately, for me, it was fun because around this time last year, Mark and I were going on walks, and he would talk a lot about, like, oh, is this going to happen? Is it not? He'd been having conversations with Riot for a little bit, and I think you were trying to figure out what the result was going to be. And during that time, there was a lot of times where Mark would be like, I'd really like to do this. I'd love to bring subs to the channel, or I don't know. I don't know if you told me this or if I just found it out eventually, but like the live patch stuff, which I think at its time was considered to be such a crazy idea nobody had really done before. And you just pushed the envelope and you were able to make it happen. So I think it really is impressive to see just how different the LCS is in less than a year. So
Yeah. Well, get ready for next year. We got more crazy stuff cooked up. More formats, more cool stuff.
yeah, no, I think it's gonna be cool to see what else you can do. But I don't know if you had any kind of follow-ups or anything that you wanted to add here.
No, I gotta say, I think my biggest change that I like the most is how fast the games happen in between each other. That makes it so much easier to watch. I gotta think all the other leagues are striving to do the exact same thing now.
Yeah, and I think on that point, to shout out the pro players in North America as well in the LCS for being willing to try things, because I think pro players can be pretty stuck in their ways sometimes, and anything that's different or slightly uncomfortable they don't want to do. So the fact that we could throw live patch at them and how we draft differently and format changes and all the things that we keep throwing at them, and they kind of roll with it, I think the pro players deserve a huge shout out as well, and the team side.
Yeah. No, it's been a great year. I think a lot of people have come together to really try to pitch in for the LCS. So yeah. Anything you want to shout out here at the end?
I think I'll shout out. It's a throwback, but Kyle Perkoski, my freshman year in college, got me into league, so that was a big shout out there. I'll shout out Brendan here in the front row with me. He's come to a couple of events with me too, and then I'll shout out my wife who's watching our dogs back at home for me, so I can come here.
That's awesome.
And then also, obviously, the sponsors.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Enjoy the games.
I like how you shouted out the NA pros because the EU pros complain when they changed it on them. So
I don't know. Maybe some other regions tried
Yeah.
what we did, and they didn't. Their pros had stronger opinions.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, and it's true. I think the NA pros really came down. I thought they would complain a lot more, but I know they were really excited about a lot of these changes too.
And even team side, like we've heard in the past when you and I were more on the outside about some of the tensions between Riot and teams that I didn't really feel much this year that I probably was gearing up for. So
yeah, I mean that's for me that was a big thing where during our walks I was like, I don't know, Mark, if you're gonna there's so much inertia, in these for a long time where teams didn't want to do stuff. People inside Riot were like, well, that's not how this is done, and so it is really impressive that people were able to come around on a lot of things. So. Do you want to go ahead and pull our next person?
yeah, we got Sean Shannon.
He has a couple questions. Sean wants to come on the show. I know a couple of these that I'm looking at. Mark will definitely dodge, but I don't mind you asking them.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
It's fun to watch him
we
squirm.
can go rapid fire.
Yeah,
I was going,
exactly.
nope.
Sean, where are you joining us from?
The couch? No, Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about on the show?
So obviously we're gonna be losing some teams next year. What would you say are some of the most important teams to keep for the future of the LCS success?
I love all of our teams equally. They're all important members of the LCS ecosystem.
For now.
Okay. Well, that was number one. So that was thank you, Kelby, for that one.
Oh, Kelby seeded that in. Thank you, Kelby.
On a scale of 1 to 10, though, going to Worlds, what is your level of confidence for the teams coming in? Because I think in previous years, especially, as my favorite ex-co-host of this, talk show, sorry, Cubby, that
He's not an ex-co-host yet. He could definitely be
Yet.
your favorite.
Yeah.
Whoa, Travis.
shit.
Travis.
We still have 15
Travis
more
is
minutes.
cutting Cubby.
We
just
still have
like
15 more minutes for him to mess up. No problem.
I
you
thought
get-
you said I have
get
15 more
canceled
minutes.
already.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
You got 15 minutes of fame left, Cubby.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, so yeah, level 1 to 10, your level of excitedness or like hopefulness that like this may be what we've been talking about before, potential best year for NA.
I would go about 8. I think I there's been like 2016 TSM. I'm trying to think of other years where you had like a really good domestic showing and some confidence going in, and I think those had maybe more dominance. I know everyone talks about TL undefeated, and there's that's true, but I think like in terms of gameplay and watching like 2020 C9 who never went in spring,
Yeah.
2016 TSM, some of these teams I think have been more dominant and made you feel like you had that confidence, but at least Team Liquid both at EWC and MSI took T1 to close games. They looked really competent, and so I have a lot of confidence in them. The fact that FlyQuest pushed them pretty well is making me feel better about FlyQuest despite some of the rougher showings that they had at those events. In 100 Thieves versus R7, all right, let's see how that goes.
They got the best draw they can.
yeah, they'll get a lot of experience.
Well, for the first 2 rounds, like they dodged PSG and MDK. So
so they get if they win, they get GAM most likely.
yeah,
and
that's the best draw.
Yeah. So either way, I think that is to say you never know because Swiss stage now you don't know the groups ahead of time, so it's hard to predict who Team Liquid's going to match up against. But I think around half the pool they should be favored. I think depending on what you think of T1 losing last night as well, what that meant for spoiler, I guess. My bad.
I will say, like, I've always said that 2014 is the best year for NA at Worlds. This is probably the most hope I've had since then, like
That's
10 years, unironically.
Yeah. 2016, you didn't get on board the TSM train?
No.
I will say as well, like
Hope.
it's an 8 because it doesn't go higher than 8. You said 8, like 1 through 10, but 9 and 10 don't exist on my
Well,
scale.
we used to have 9 and 10. You know.
Yeah, we used to have 9 and 10. That
Yeah.
that fell off this. If
Yeah.
we like,
Yeah.
if we
Nice,
if we
nice.
make quarters or semis again, you know, and then like, oh, then maybe 9 and 10 end up back on the scale in the future. But for now, there's no.
I think he was making a joke about how there were 10 teams.
Yeah.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
Right over my head.
Yeah. And then lastly, because this is just one that's like important to me, I've really loved the rebranding that LCS has done over the course of the years and like the logo that we have now. And I don't, in any form or fashion, if you can speak on it, are we gonna be rebranding from LCS or are we gonna keep it within like an America system or something like that? Because I personally love it. I don't know how the fans feel, but like the logo and our theme song that like reminds me of like Saturday Night Football and stuff like that, it makes me like feel like we have something that's ours now, and I don't want to see that change again.
I hear where you're coming from. Much like the answer about road shows in 2025, all things 2025 are basically under wraps for now.
It would be very unfortunate if there was merch with logos being sold at this event that would no longer be applicable next year, I guess is what I would say.
There's two teams that are thinking the same thing right now. So
Yeah.
There's I shouldn't say that.
no, whatever you're gonna say.
No, it wasn't even Riot related. It was another game company about something that might have come out and already went away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Mark, kind of going back to the other topic, though, for you as the commissioner, is there a lot of pressure at all for how the LCS teams perform at Worlds?
No,
Like on you?
on me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a coach anymore. I think so. Here's what I can say about this. I did an interview with Mahir yesterday, and we talked about.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we talked about games on stage and these sorts of things. And I think sometimes that gets wrapped up with like competitive performance. And what I said in that interview is like, I really think what you do in the 6 days before you play a match is way more important than like the one day you played for 2 hours on stage. And I think it's pretty cope from teams and players to think that the stage days matter more. I think that just shows a lack of understanding of coaching and practice and these sorts of things. I think Team Liquid has proved that this year because they have not played significantly more games on stage and they've been one of the best representatives we've ever had. So like, I think those things aren't correlated. The times we've changed the formats and given more games on stage, it hasn't made the teams better. I think that stuff's pretty cope. So
it's more of like a personal desire to see them do well.
Yeah, it's a personal desire. It's not like, oh, they didn't do well enough. We got to do something else in the future. I think for me, formats and that kind of stuff, there's a balance between competition and what keeps fans engaged. And I think that's the more important one is like, what are fans enjoying?
Yeah. Sean, anything else here at the end?
Just want to say that FanFest has been fantastic. This has been probably the best FanFest that I've been to since Houston, which didn't really it was all inside, so it was no heat. But this is fantastic. I appreciate it. Thank you to Kia, Prize Picks, NZXT, all you guys out there, and really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. All right, we have a couple more minutes here before the show wraps, and I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit with you, Mark, because I think we don't have as many takes that are relevant for this. So, one, I assume you're hoping for 5 games today?
Yep. Number go up, good. Longer day, good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what is it like for you to see all of the work that your team has put in? Because obviously, I know you like to talk not just about your success as an individual this year and all that stuff, but also just about the teams this year. And so I don't know if there's any of them that you want to shout out or anything that you think is particularly cool. I guess if you shout out one, the others get scorned. So I'm not sure. But
I'm okay with
scoring
I'll
people.
try and remember everything, but if I mess up and someone goes, hey, I'll be like, oh, my bad. No, I think it's a good call because I've been talking about the teams, the players, stuff like that. But I think the LCS team, meaning engineers, comp ops, broadcast, all these people who, when you make a change, like we're going to pre-record drafts, it's like, okay, we have to redo our entire back end and like, where are we going to put players and how are you going to do all this? Like, and the LCS team, the actual people working on this stuff made it happen in very short time frames. And they've been incredible. And like you said, it's been a pretty crazy year, lots of ups and downs, lots of things that have affected from outside the season. And so I think the LCS team has been so good about just doing things on short notice, short time. It's one of the things when I said learnings from this year, the best one I can do is give people more heads up and work better and have better documentation and all these sorts of things that would help people. But they've rolled with the punches every single step of the way. And for this event in particular, shout out like the load-in times, how quickly the events team had to set everything up, the fan fest, engineers getting everything figured out, the production side of all of that. Like if you haven't been inside the venue yet, for people who didn't come yesterday, like it's a 6-stage, and so I think it's gonna be a really good show.
I don't know if you have anything you want to throw out there, Cubby.
No,
yeah.
I'm actually. I'm
Well, I
kinda
just wanted to say also, you know, I know you can't talk too much about what is happening next year, but how much work is the team doing right now for the stuff that's happening next year, right? Because it's got to be a strange thing where you're both building out this show, trying to make sure finals is great, all this stuff, but then also having to figure out how to take on like massive challenges for next year.
Oh yeah,
and massive changes.
yeah, it's a nightmare. It is truly. So like comp ops and us have been beating up formats forever while also doing this stuff, and then the production teams are having to figure out broadcast schedules and cadence and all these sorts of things, and Spanish coverage and whatnot for the North Conference, for example, like these sorts of logistical things, while also still running leagues in the current year. So it's been tough. I think a lot of us are looking forward to a good finals, and then being able to refocus either onto 2025 or getting a break if they're able to.
And then kind of finally here at just a couple questions around what this year has been like for you personally, because I know this is maybe not a topic that makes sense for like an interview that you're doing with another outlet or something, but this is Hotline League. This is a show that you helped me create, and that a lot of the audience have gotten to know you over the time. They've learned your opinions on obscure movies and video games and all that type of stuff. So just in general, what has this experience been like for you as a person in the last, I don't know, 9 months or so?
It's been really good. I've enjoyed it. I've like I said before, got a lot done and felt challenged along the way and learned a lot of new stuff. On the personal level, yeah, it was very stressful the last 2 months. I think I told you I was between planning 2025, finishing 2024, and then Ashley and I are getting married, so I had to plan the wedding and the honeymoon, which is going to be in October. So the last 2 months have just been nightmare fuel of just every day there's something I need to be doing somewhere. And I'm looking forward to at least finishing 2024.
Between summer finals, wedding, and honeymoon, which has been hardest to plan?
They've changed over time.
Okay.
I'll say 2025, getting the big picture stuff in place,
yeah.
And there's a lot of legal and financials you need to check to make sure that like this actually works and all these things. That was a pretty hefty amount of work a couple months ago. It's sort of simmered down. There's still a lot going on, but then finals reared its head in the last two and a half weeks, a little bit more.
What stage of Worlds are you going to for your honeymoon?
None of them.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I'll be at finals, I think, but
he's not married to the game.
I'm married to the LCS and North American League of Legends esports.
Great answer.
And maybe they'll be at Worlds finals, but I don't know.
All right, last thing that we'll close out on this. Mark, what you been watching? What you been playing lately?
Played the hell out of the Elden Ring DLC. That was dope. I really enjoyed Cuckoo. There's something else that came out that I can't remember right now from a movie.
What is Huku?
It's a movie.
Oh no, I'm not familiar.
No, I didn't play Black Myth Wukong. I'm looking forward to Space Marine 2 after this. God, what movies have come out recently other than Deadpool and Wolverine? Because I swear there's
I feel like you haven't watched much.
I watched a ton.
Oh really?
Yeah, this is the problem is I watched 20 things and I can't remember any of them.
All right. Well, we tried. Thank you so much.
I did see Alien. Alien was good. Second half was much better than the first half.
Anybody who doesn't normally watch the show or didn't watch it when you were on is very confused by what's happening.
Why
They're like, what's happening with the show
Why
now?
are we talking about movies?
Yeah. All right. Anything that you want to say to anybody?
No, just shout outs to all the fans for coming out and watching this year. It's been a really good year. I think we'll probably have some retro-y type stuff in a couple weeks, the same way that we did for spring, to talk about some best of threes, viewership, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, thanks to everyone for watching.
Yeah. Cubby, any shout outs?
I mean, thanks, Mark. Thanks to everyone that came on, and thanks for everyone tuning in to Hotline League. That was distracting.
Some big cheers for Hotline League.
Yeah, looks like T1. No, I mean, thanks for everyone that tunes in, supports me. Hoping for a really good final today. and also a good final tomorrow.
I
Which
was about
I'm-
to say Shoutouts here too. I bumped into
Yeah.
the Starforge Fear guys.
Yeah, they're here. Dragonsteel's here. So really cool that they got access to the venue. Shout out to Riot for that. But no, I feel really grateful to be a part of this, and it's been a really fun year, and looking forward to more shows.
For me, shouting out here at the end, obviously Kia for making this all happen. We had the Kia stage here.
Thank you, Kia.
2025 K4 is over there. They've been awesome. Make sure you check out the Kia booths over here on the side, the teams that are attached to it. It's been really awesome to see. Thank you all for coming out, and thank you for the people that tuned
Yes.
in live. It is such a pleasure. My favorite hotline leagues are always the ones where we get to do them live because it's so cool to meet people in person, have them come up on stage instead of calling into Discord with usually a pretty shitty microphone. And yeah, it's just been fantastic. I really hope we have great games today. I'm sure we will. Maybe we'll see the 5-game series everybody's hoping for. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. This has been Hotline League. We'll see you Monday.